Hi everyone, this is Dr. Christy Innes. I am an English professor and consultant, and one of the companies that I had a very distinct pleasure to work with is the National Center for Families Learning, which happens to be headquartered in Louisville, Kentucky. One of their educational services that is completely free and always will be is called Wonderopolis. And you may have heard of it, but it seems like the older students are, and the older students that teachers work with, they haven't heard of it. So I am a former high school teacher, and I taught seniors for many years. And believe it or not, we use this in class too as a way to learn new things, to talk about questioning, levels of questions, and to actually write for a very particular audience and purpose. So I'm going to share with you today a little bit about navigating the website and also how you can use this in the classroom. I'm also going to link you to some resources that are already created that you might want to use that I'm happy to share with you. So to start, you want to go to wonderopolis.org. That's what you see on the screen now. And when you go there on the home page, you're going to see the wonder of the day. And just so you understand what's going on here, these questions were created from student wonder. So students all across the world can submit a wonder. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. And a person at Wonderopolis, in fact, it's a teacher who writes these pages. She chooses which student wonders to create into wonders of the day. So each day there's a new one. Today it happens to be, what are earthquake lights? I have no idea. So let's see. This is wonder number 2565. So there are plenty of them for you to explore. So when you click on it, it takes you to the actual wonder page for that particular question. And when you get there, you're going to notice some features that are on every wonder, no matter how old they are. So first of all, you can print if that's useful for you or your students. You can also have it read to the student or to you. So if a student has accommodations and needs that, it is an option. Underneath, you have 3 sub-questions for each wonder, so you could use those for formative assessment or to start discussions. I like to post them on Google Classroom and have students do a discussion with them. And then you will see a couple of things. One is a video that goes along with it, and all have been screened properly for students K through 12, so they should be of appropriate age and material content. Then we have some images that go along with the wonder. We also have an attribution to 3 students in this case, but sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's more, who actually contributed to the questioning for this page. So that's pretty amazing. If your student gets picked, they'll get sent an email and they will be acknowledged on the page forevermore. And then you see the actual text of the wonder. So if you take a moment just to look at it, it is nonfiction, but it's written in more of a narrative style to the student. The audience is between 4th, 5th, 6th grade level with content, so you're never going to get a piece that is too complex or hard to understand for a student who reads at essentially a 5th grade level. That said, there are some domain-specific terms used here, and they may be a little bit new or confusing, and so they are highlighted in yellow, and the definitions are there if you hover. Also, these green hyperlinks take you to other wonders that are related to this wonder. For example, this one is linked to another wonder about why does the sky change color at sunrise and sunset, since this is about lights. So, also on this page, you have the wonder words. So these are the specific words that might be new or vocabulary students might want to study. So those words, you can do the practice matching game here for just a little bit of fun or formative assessment. And then you also have a 3-question multiple choice quiz that is on the comprehension level. So it'll be level 1 questions. The answers are directly in the text. And then we have at the bottom the standards related. We also have, and as you know, like it might not say the grade level, but we all know that the reading and writing standards particularly are the same. They're just more complex, or there might be more to them as they get older. The grades move up. We have 3 extension activities, and it does say to have find an adult. So if you wanted to curate some of these with the students or ask them to engage with their parents, this is a great section here for taking the learning a little bit further. And in some cases, they're very hands-on. But a lot of times it's just them asking another person about what they're learning about. And so it's kind of like interview. You also have sources that were used to create the wonder that the students could go to. Sometimes I will ask them to find one fact that they didn't know that didn't get used in this particular wonder about the topic, and then bring that back for discussion purposes, something they thought was interesting. You can rate the wonder, you can add a comment, and you can share the wonder, which I think is a really nice feature. Also, if the students, like me, get really excited about the topic and they want to learn about things that are related, there are always 5 at the bottom that are related, which I think is cool. So, some other features besides just looking at the wonder of the day, if you'd like to actually search for a particular wonder by keyword or by subject, you can do that by clicking Explore Wonders, which is the orange box at the top of the page. And when you get there, you're going to have a keyword search box, or bar, I should say, and you can search that way. You can also look at the most popular or the wonder list, which is the list of all of them. This is a feature I like a lot, and that is there are also content area specific wonders grouped together. So if you're looking for your particular class, or you want to study a subject, or you want to give students a way to search for what they're looking for, then you can search by content as well. The other tabs at the top of the page, you have What Are You Wondering? And this is where you can submit your own wonder, and you can also vote on the ones that you want to be chosen next. So you can put your question here, and it'll be added to the Wonder Bank, and it could absolutely be chosen. You can look at the highest rated ones, and if you like it, you can click the green thumb and move it up, which is cool if you really, really want to know. So that's another feature, another way you can actively engage with the page. And then finally, there's Camp Wonderopolis. And this is a really amazing thing, especially for a library media specialist or anyone who's looking for a way to get students involved in something that's already curated. So teachers make accounts, and students make accounts. And it's kind of gamified, if you will. They earn badges, and they can take multiple choice question quizzes after they look at the wonders and engage with them. There are videos to watch, there are activities to do, there are maker activities to do for each track on each one. There's one here that's themed for music, which is very interesting. It has all content areas too. Each of these do. Wonderosity is the camp for construction heavy equipment. We have Flex Your Wonder, which is for the Olympics. So it's a lot of things about exercise science and fitness and health. We have Mission to Wonder, which is all about space and technology. We also have the original one, which is lots of different things like lab, the woods, the zoo. So there's all kinds of branches of science here for the first one. So feel free to go through that. There's a lot of cool things. There are some camp kits available too if you actually want to purchase one. I did. I have to be really honest because I wanted it. I wanted to see what was in it. It also comes with some cool trading cards, and I don't know how many of those they have left for each track, but it would be worth checking out. It's pretty cool. It comes inside a backpack. The other thing you have here is called Wonders with Charlie, which is something new to the page. And Charlie is a really cool guy on YouTube, and he has contracted with us to do some wonders, and he is something else. So if you wanted students to take a look at a fun video, Charlie is a really great addition to the wonders of the day. It looks like he's done, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12 of them now. So that's pretty cool. That would be a neat thing to explore with students, especially if you're doing Google Classroom in real time. Like if you're going to do a Google Meet, you could have a viewing party and then have a discussion. It would be very fun. All you'd have to do is share your screen with them as the video is playing, and then you could offer up some questions, stop the video as he's going, and ask the students. So that's a couple of things you could do with this, and that's the page itself. What I've got for you is a couple of things. So first of all, I'll share this and you can stop it in the video, of course, and take a screenshot or write down the information. But here's my email. I do have an email with JCPS because I am working, well, I was before the crisis, working with a couple of high schools to do intervention work. So I do have an email with JCPS. And then this is a bit.ly, so all you'd have to do is type this in your browser and you will get to a Drive folder, which I'm getting ready to show you, that is full of ideas for classroom applications for Wonderopolis for all age groups. Just keep in mind that I have predominantly worked with high school students, and a colleague of mine did some work with middle school students. This is really originally geared for elementary, so there are plenty of ideas for that if you're accessing this for elementary age. Also, reach out to me. If you've got an idea, just send me an email. I'm perfectly happy to walk through it with you or answer questions. So in the Drive folder, what you have is, first of all, a big folder that is this Wonder Hour Genius Hour resource bank. So one of the things that my middle school colleague, Jennifer Cox, did is she had a class that she was assigned to teach when she was a Go Clarity coach at Mazik Middle School way back when. And it was just a group of kids that needed an elective. And so she decided to try out Genius Hour and really to think about how that applied to this idea of wonder, right? So student-driven passion projects, essentially. So there are resources in here for that, such as planning sheets for Genius Hour for teachers and students if you're interested. There's a PowerPoint in here with some information about Genius Hour, some resources in there that we used to present one time about this at JCPS. So those things are there for you if you'd like them. Another thing is to do something called the Wonder Jar, where students would just randomly pick out something from the Wonder Jar, one of the wonders, and then write about it after they have finished it. We have Wonder Projects, which is something that we've created. And then these are all activities that go along with these particular wonders that I have created. So for example, Travel Without Traveling. We have, on this one, you'll see basically a lesson plan. So all of these have a lesson plan and tell you exactly how to go through and do. So if one of those wonders jumps out at you and you're looking for a lesson plan, feel free to use those. We have some pictures in here. And then these Wonder Box things, which actually looks like are in here twice. These Wonder Box things are really cool. So colleagues of mine asked me when I used to be a consultant for Wonderopolis to create like almost like a challenge box where the students would have to figure some things out in order to get the combination, like an escape room type of idea. And I created one for 8th grade ELA, one for social studies in 5th grade, and then one for 4th grade math. So if any of those are interesting to you, feel free to take a look at those. And then finally, there's a really cool one for ELA, for really any class where you want them to connect with subject matter. And this was created by a dynamic teacher in Texas. She teaches 5th grade. And she took the idea of blackout poetry and used it with Wonderopolis. So you would print off the wonder or, put it on a document, and then you would create blackout poetry from it. And you can Google blackout poetry if you're not familiar, but she used this to create poetry, and there's instructions here, everything you need. So you can feel free to make a copy of this and share with your students if it's something you'd like them to do. She has lots of examples here for you too. And remember, these are 5th graders that did this. So there's some ideas for you. And again, if you get really into it and you've got some questions or you have a question about one of the resources, feel free to reach out to me. This is my information again, and I hope you enjoy it and get some good ideas.